and welcome to this Zwift Run live stream. My name is Stephen. I'm a Zwift ambassador, a community run leader and your host today. There's a countdown clock up there showing how long to go before the start of the main event, so you've probably got time to tidy the kitchen, take the trash out and grab yourself a drink before we get going. If you've never seen Zwift before, it's an online game where athletes from all over the world train, compete against and socialise with each other live and in real time. All you need to take part is a foot pod, an internet connection, access to a treadmill and a device on which to run the Zwift app. You can use a computer, an iPad, an iPhone, a high-end Android device. Zwift even works on Apple TV. If you have a smart treadmill, you don't even need a foot pod, as your treadmill will send your speed direct to Zwift. Once you've logged in and made sure your equipment is connected, you can join others live for structured group workouts or social runs. You could do a solo workout or take part in one of the many in-game challenges. You could also pit yourself against people from all over the world in a race. There are various Zwift worlds. Some are based on existing places like London, New York, Innsbruck, Richmond, Virginia and Harrogate in the UK. But the biggest world is the fictional Watopia, where you can run in glass tunnels underwater, through the middle of a volcano, in a jungle, up to the top of a snow-capped mountain and on country trails. Watopia is where the Zwift developers let their imagination fly. Like any computer game, the more you run, the higher up the levels you climb and the more virtual goodies you require. If you're a regular treadmill runner, Zwift is going to transform your training. If you're a hater, Zwift is going to change the way you think about indoor running. Before we go any further, if you're watching on YouTube, please click that subscribe button and the bell icon so you're notified every time we go live on this channel. If you're watching on Facebook, please click the like button on the Film My Run page. Film My Run is also my other YouTube channel where I post real world runs, so if you're interested in marathons, ultra running, 10Ks or triathlons, you'll find product reviews, interviews and races over on that channel. I've been running all my life. I started running long distance races in 2011 when I ran my first half marathon, and that was followed a year later by my first marathon in Paris. I've run the Paris Marathon every year since and have now run well over 100 marathons and ultras. I started using Zwift at the beginning of 2015 when indoor cycling and smart trainers really took off. In the early days, I held the long distance record for cycling of 500 kilometres on Zwift for about 48 hours. And when running started in 2016, I was the first person to run a marathon on Zwift. So if you have any questions about Zwift, if I don't know the answer, I probably know somebody who does. Okay, so now you can go and take the trash out and get that drink. And make sure you keep an eye on that countdown and be back in time for the start proper. Well, go on then, don't just sit there gawping at me. Basically, this message is going to go around in a loop again and again until the start of the run, so you may as well go and do something constructive in the meantime. Hello and welcome to this Zwift Run live stream. My name is Stephen. I'm a Zwift ambassador, a community run leader and your host today. There's a countdown clock up there showing how long to go before the start of the main event, so you've probably got time to tidy the kitchen, take the trash out and grab yourself a drink before we get going. If you've never seen Zwift before, it's an online game where athletes from all over the world train, compete against and socialise with each other live and in real time. All you need to take part is a foot pod, an internet connection, access to a treadmill and a device on which to run the Zwift app. You can use a computer, an iPad, an iPhone, a high-end Android device. Zwift even works on Apple TV. If you have a smart treadmill, you don't even need a foot pod, as your treadmill will send your speed direct to Zwift. Once you've logged in and made sure your equipment is connected, you can join others live for structured group workouts or social runs. You could do a solo workout or take part in one of the many in-game challenges. You could also pit yourself against people from all over the world in a race. There are various Zwift worlds. Some are based on existing places like London, New York, Innsbruck, Richmond, Virginia and Harrogate in the UK. But the biggest world is the fictional Watopia, where you can run in glass tunnels underwater, through the middle of a volcano, in a jungle, up to the top of a snow-capped mountain and on country trails. Watopia is where the Zwift developers let their imagination fly. Like any computer game, the more you run, the higher up the levels you climb and the more virtual goodies you require. If you're a regular treadmill runner, Zwift is going to transform your training. If you're a hater, Zwift is going to change the way you think about indoor running. Before we go any further, if you're watching on YouTube, please click that subscribe button and the bell icon so you're notified every time we go live on this channel. If you're watching on Facebook, please click the like button on the Film My Run page. Film My Run is also my other YouTube channel where I post real world runs, so if you're interested in marathons, ultra running, 10Ks or triathlons, you'll find product reviews, interviews and races over on that channel. I've been running all my life. I started running long distance races in 2011 when I ran my first half marathon, and that was followed a year later by my first marathon in Paris. I've run the Paris Marathon every year since and have now run well over 100 marathons and ultras. I started using Zwift at the beginning of 2015 when indoor cycling and smart trainers really took off. In the early days, I held the long distance record for cycling of 500 kilometres on Zwift for about 48 hours. And when running started in 2016, I was the first person to run a marathon on Zwift. So if you have any questions about Zwift, if I don't know the answer, I probably know somebody who does. Okay, so now you can go and take the trash out and get that drink. And make sure you keep an eye on that countdown and be back in time for the start proper. Well, go on then, don't just sit there gawping at me. Basically, this message is going to go around in a loop again and again until the start of the run, so you may as well go and do something constructive in the meantime. Hello and welcome to this Zwift Run live stream. My name is Stephen. I'm a Zwift ambassador, a community run leader and your host today. There's a countdown clock up there showing how long to go before the start of the main event, so you've probably got time to tidy the kitchen, take the trash out and grab yourself a drink before we get going. If you've never seen Zwift before, it's an online game where athletes from all over the world train, compete against and socialise with each other live and in real time. All you need to take part is a foot pod, an internet connection, access to a treadmill and a device on which to run the Zwift app. You can use a computer, an iPad, an iPhone, a high-end Android device. Zwift even works on Apple TV. If you have a smart treadmill, you don't even need a foot pod, as your treadmill will send your speed direct to Zwift. Once you've logged in and made sure your equipment is connected, you can join others live for structured group workouts or social runs. You could do a solo workout or take part in one of the many in-game challenges. You could also pit yourself against people from all over the world in a race. There are various Zwift worlds. Some are based on existing places like London, New York, Innsbruck, Richmond, Virginia and Harrogate in the UK. But the biggest world is the fictional Watopia, where you can run in glass tunnels underwater, through the middle of a volcano, in a jungle, up to the top of a snow-capped mountain and on country trails. Watopia is where the Zwift developers let their imagination fly. Like any computer game, the more you run, the higher up the levels you climb and the more virtual goodies you require. If you're a regular treadmill runner, Zwift is going to transform your training. If you're a hater, Zwift is going to change the way you think about indoor running. Before we go any further, if you're watching on YouTube, please click that subscribe button and the bell icon so you're notified every time we go live on this channel. If you're watching on Facebook, please click the like button on the Film My Run page. Film My Run is also my other YouTube channel where I post real world runs, so if you're interested in marathons, ultra running, 10Ks or triathlons, you'll find product reviews, interviews and races over on that channel. I've been running all my life. I started running long distance races in 2011 when I ran my first half marathon, and that was followed a year later by my first marathon in Paris. I've run the Paris Marathon every year since and have now run well over 100 marathons and ultras. I started using Zwift at the beginning of 2015 when indoor cycling and smart trainers really took off. In the early days, I held the long distance record for cycling of 500 kilometres on Zwift for about 48 hours. And when running started in 2016, I was the first person to run a marathon on Zwift. So if you have any questions about Zwift, if I don't know the answer, I probably know somebody who does. Okay, so now you can go and take the trash out and get that drink. And make sure you keep an eye on that countdown and be back in time for the start proper. Well, go on then, don't just sit there gawping at me. Basically, this message is going to go around in a loop again and again until the start of the run, so you may as well go and do something constructive in the meantime. Good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. This is Film My Run on Zwift. My name is Stephen Cousins and we are broadcasting live on Facebook and on YouTube. While we're getting everything ready, it would be absolutely awesome if you could go and subscribe to the Film My Run YouTube channel and also the Zwift Live YouTube channel. You can also find us on Facebook at facebook.com/filmmyrun and also Twitter at filmmyrun, and the website is www.filmmyrun.com. It's very nearly time, so sit back, relax, don't forget to drop me a ride on and watch me do all the hard work. Very slow. Very slow is the answer, Alfredo. I'd probably start at maybe 8 or... Should I start at... I'm going to start at 8 kilometers per hour, so really slowly. 8 kilometers an hour. Go to 9 and see if we can make it to 10 a bit later. My Zwift companion app is not working. Hello, good evening, or good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are in the world. We are doing the Never Stop Running Garmin Stage 4. We're doing the short run because my legs are still trashed from the weekend. Amy, hello to you on Twitch. Tina is watching and running as well with us, as is Alfredo, we think. Right, so 8 kilometers an hour to start with for me. Paul Hayward is in the house as well. Hello, Paul. Purdue is in the house. Chandler is there. Oh, there's a few of us. Yeah, Zwift companion app not working. Right, let's just see how these legs are feeling. Initial thoughts are hamstrings are very tight still, but I actually feel okay at this pace. This is all right. So yeah, happy here. So can we do at least 1 kilometre at 8, Tina? Is that all right? And then we'll see how we get on from there. Maybe we'll go up to 8.5, then 9, 9.5, and 10. Hang on a minute. How many kilometres is that? We're doing 5k. 8, 8.5, 9, 9.5, 10. That'll be all right. Is that all right? Can we do that? Sarah Jacobson was going to run with us, but work has taken over. See, that's what you get for living in the States, where you're still in the afternoon. What's that all about? See, if you were in the UK, you'd have finished work by now. Yeah, going slow. Tina, oh, when did you have your booster? How long ago? Oh no, you did it with the same time as Victoria, didn't you? Was it yesterday? Yes. Okay, so Victoria had her booster yesterday, and Tina had her booster, and I think somebody else we know had their booster as well. So you lot are all clearly younger than I am then. I had mine ages ago. Feeling better, actually. I can still feel a lot of tightness in my legs, but it's not sore. It's not really painful like it was yesterday and certainly on Monday. Just couldn't run at all. So glad to be back. Glad to feel a little bit more able now. So the plan today, I'm going to do a gentle increase from 8 kph to 8.5, 9, 9.5 and 10. Marcus Holmes says, how was the race this weekend? Much more difficult than I expected. And that's partly because I wasn't training for it, so I hadn't planned to make a big effort at it. It wasn't an A race, and the terrain and the weather made it much more difficult than I expected it or wanted it to be. And for those that don't know, and I apologise for going on about it, because you all, if you watched yesterday morning's Film My Run 500, I spent most of yesterday morning moaning about it. But I'll just have a brief word about it today. At the weekend I walked mostly 83 miles along the Norfolk Coast Path. That is the entirety of the Norfolk Coast Path, full 83 miles. And I came in 14th position, which doesn't sound bad, but I was 7 hours behind the winner. So the winner finished in 14 hours 50 minutes as a friend of mine called Dan Lawson. He also holds the record for the fastest run between John O'Groats and Land's End in the UK, which is a very famous... it's from the top of the UK to the bottom of the UK, basically. It's a big FKT. Anyway, he did it in 14 hours 51 minutes. I was hoping for about 18 hours, 19 hours. I ended up coming in 22 hours, 50 minutes. So about 4 hours. 4 hours longer than I expected to be out there. The early part of the race was pouring with rain and lots of very muddy single track, which I was slipping and sliding all over, couldn't get any traction at all. And then a bit later on we hit 4 miles of shingle beach, so I basically just had to walk for 4 miles on shingle beach, deep shingle that you couldn't get any traction to run on. And then we had sandy beach as well later on. It did stop raining eventually when the light came, when the darkness went away and it was finally daytime, we were then hit with long sandy beaches. Yeah, and the thing is, it wasn't very hilly at all. It had some hills in the middle, but it wasn't really hilly. But the time suggests that it was pretty darn tough. Hard work. Paul Hayward says, my pain cave is getting carpet tiles on Saturday and maybe Christmas lights. Fantastic. Tina Beard says, my cave is adorned with Christmas lights ready for the video 5k. So if you're watching and you don't know what the video 5k is, on Christmas Eve we will have the return of our video 5k round Paris. And what that involves is you guys signing up to run, but also signing up to a Zoom call and getting your phone or a camera, putting it in front of your treadmill, logging into Zoom, and I will pick up your camera, pick up the Zoom call, and you will appear live on the stream here, hopefully in fancy dress or with your pain cave decorated. And we'll have a bit of fun for 45 minutes on Christmas Eve, doing the video 5k. So you guys are the ones on video. So really looking forward to that. Hopefully quite a few of you will be able to join. And I will put some adverts up on Zwift Runners Facebook page. Hopefully get some more people involved, see how many people we can get in fancy dress, or at least with some kind of adornment of their video. Sarah Jacobson wants to join as co-host on Zoom to chat. Right, in all seriousness, Sarah, I'm up for that if we can technically make it work. Because what I sometimes have problems with are people unmuting their streams. I know I can prevent people from doing it, can't I? But I'll have to have a look at how to do it, because what we don't want is the noise of people's treadmills all colliding on screen on the stream. So if we can do it where we just have your voice, then that would be awesome. So yes, in principle, if we can get it sorted, that'd be hilarious and fun. Maybe we should schedule some kind of get-together about that, Sarah, later in the week. But let me look at the technical aspect of it first. Right, 1 kilometre is... Oh no, we'll get to 4 kilometres to go. And then go up to 8.5 if that's all right. So we've got Alfredo running with us, Tina Beard and Paul Hayward. Drunnen from the Netherlands is just up ahead. Drake is 2.5 minutes up. Prideaux also 2.5 minutes up. Olzek from the USA 2.5 minutes up as well. Bobby from France nearly 3 minutes up, and Chandler is in the lead, although it's not really a race. Right, Sarah's on a mission. I will be following up with you to make it happen. Okay, I'm well up for it. I'm very happy to do it. So yeah, these Garmin events are not supposed to be races. Oh, sorry, hang on a minute. No, we're not going up yet, are we? Right, yeah, let's go up now. 8.5 kph now. Just slowly getting myself back into it. What was I about to say? Oh yes, so yeah, these Garmin events are not supposed to be races. They're supposed to be group runs, but we do seem to have placings. So I guess people are making it into a race because there's a first and second and third place. But I hope you have been doing these, because you do get a chance to win a Garmin watch. Marcus Holmes says, for some reason I don't see you guys. Wonder if I'm in the wrong group. Are you doing the long version, Marcus? Because we're doing the short version. Or are you just... Or maybe it's a closed... Maybe it's a closed run, because I can't see anyone else on the course. I can't see any other runners. And I can't see any bikes on the road. I know this is the run path we're on now, but you can often see bikes in the distance on the roads. And I can't see that. Tina's HR is all over the place apparently. Mine is okay. Zone 2. A moment. So it's definitely higher than it should be. Sorry, Alfredo, yes, speed up. Right, so we've got loads of chat on YouTube. Nothing going on Facebook. Anybody watching on Facebook today? Amy's on Twitch. Sarah, Tina, Paul, and Alfredo are on YouTube. No chat from Facebook today. So is there something weird going on with Facebook? Is Facebook not working properly? Right, Tina says Marcus is on the chili pepper route. I have a feeling, Marcus, that this is a closed event, so you can't see us on screen, on the map. So yeah, when we get to... So we've got 3.6 kilometres left to run. So when we get to 3 kilometres to go, we'll go up to 9 kph. I apologise that it's very slow. I could probably run a bit faster, but I'm just easing my way back into it now. After the weekend. This is my first run since the weekend. So I took Monday off completely. Tuesday I did the Film My Run 500, but I kind of walked it and I didn't put any incline on. Oh right, Tina, Facebook has a cut picture. Now I did notice that, but I thought it was just my phone. That is weird. Okay. And Amy says there is chat on Facebook, but it's not coming up on screen. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Hello to you. He says, hi everyone, this is fun. Right, okay, Facebook, weird. Now, alright, hang on a minute. Now I can see Clive. Clive says long here. Amy says not sure he can see Facebook. And John Farrell says hello Stephen. Right, so I can see some Facebook chat then. Yeah, Tina, I did notice that about when I was checking the stream. I did notice that the Facebook picture seemed overly large, but I just thought it was my phone. So is everybody else seeing that as well, like an overly large image on Facebook? That's very, very strange. Right, so we're on the Watopia run path, and if you've never seen this before, this is the main Zwift world. It's been here for a long time, and you may have seen it if you are a member of the Zwift Runners Facebook page. You may have seen a post I put up earlier of the first ever live streamed run on Zwift. And it was literally a few days after running was released as a very early, kind of an almost an Easter egg, secret hidden feature on Zwift. Right, Jonathan Cost says, what did you say about Facebook then? The picture, when I checked the stream earlier, the picture was like expanded overly large. So I don't know if you're seeing that. Paul Hayward says there are plenty of birds for Clive to rescue on the beach. Yeah, how did you get on, Clive, with that bird you rescued the other day? What happened? Did you drop it off at the vet? So yeah, it was in fact 5 years ago today that I did my very first run on Zwift, and it was live streamed. It was the very first live streamed run on Zwift. Okay, Jonathan says it's fine on his Facebook stream, so I think maybe it was just my phone playing up then. Maybe I've got accessibility thing that clicked by accident. Marcus says, did you see any of the Nick Court 24-hour run on the track? New American record. I didn't know. What, new American distance record for 24 hours? What? How far did he get? Well, I don't know what the actual record is. Was that about 160 miles? Something like that, 170 miles in 24 hours? Okay, 9 kph, guys. So we've got 3 kilometers to go, speeding up to 9 kilometers per hour. $174 miles. Jamil Curry's brother from Runstead. Oh, okay. So I don't know if you know Jamil Curry, also known as Jam Jam. Has a YouTube site, but also a fairly accomplished ultra runner. So apparently his brother has just beaten the American record for distance in 24 hours, about 174 miles. Amazing. So well done to him. No, I didn't see any of it though. I didn't even know that was happening, Marcus. But thanks for letting me know. I'll go and look it up afterwards. It is amazing how far people can run in 24 hours, isn't it? 174 miles. That's just crazy. Oh, remember Tara Langdon, of course, from a few years ago on Zwift. Suddenly posted a run of 161 miles, and I misread it. And I thought 161, that must be kilometres, so she's done 100 miles in 24 hours. But no, she ran 161 miles in 24 hours on Zwift. Marcus says there was a whole live stream during the event and a recap video, so we'll go and have a look at that afterwards. Jonathan Cost says, looking at that first Zwift run, your HR was in the red at 13 kilometers an hour. How things have changed. Well, to be honest, it was probably bad data, or the heart rate settings were wrong. I don't know what my actual heart rate was. I think I did about 12 kilometers in that hour, didn't I? I did 12 kilometers for the hour. Yeah, I think I'm probably fitter now, but having said that, I can't remember how high my heart rate went in that run. So Jonathan's just talking about this video that I posted on Zwift Runners today, because it's 5 years ago that I did my very first run. 5 years ago today that I did my very first run on Zwift, and I live streamed it. So if you want to go and have a look at it, I mean, please don't sit through the whole hour, but go and just peek in and see what it used to look like. What Zwift running looked like when it first came out. It was December 2016, and was I going to say? Do you know, I've totally forgotten what I was going to say now. Oh, anyway. So yeah, it was December 2016. We didn't have proper kit. I was wearing a cycling helmet. I was in my old shed with my old, terrible, knackered treadmill. That's probably why my heart rate was quite high, actually. Right, Tina Beard said it was 171. So, okay, various things then. Fitness level was probably not as good back then. Treadmill was harder work because it was a very bad old treadmill. Cost me about 50 quid on eBay, I think. So it was a really old, knackered treadmill. So it made me work harder, which is why my heart rate was higher. And also I was not as used to running on a treadmill as I am now. So back then I did far more running outside than I did on the treadmill. Jonathan says stand by. He's obviously going to check the video as well. Yeah, 171. Yeah, that is high, isn't it? Yeah, I'd have to be going a lot quicker these days to hit 171. That'd be like an interval session, wouldn't it? And also, though I was younger, maybe those 5 years has had an effect on my physiology. And maybe back then I could get way higher than 171 as my max heart rate. Okay, so in 200 meters we will bump it up then to 9.5 kilometers per hour, and then the final kilometer will be 10 kph. Of course, back then I wasn't into 80-20 running either, so I was basically constantly running and trying to beat previous times all the time. I didn't know about slow running back then. Paul Hayward says, yeah, the 171 was probably technical issues, technical difficulties knowing you. Yeah, Paul, that is probably the most correct answer of them all. It was probably just bad data. I believe I was wearing a Ticker X heart rate strap back in those days, which I thought was quite good. And also, just to mention, 9.5 by the way, 9.5 kilometers an hour now. 2016 had been one of my PB years for the marathon, so I can't have been too unfit, because I ran 3:09 for a marathon in the April. I mean, obviously that is 6-7 months before, so plenty of time to lose fitness, of course. Right, 9.5 kilometers an hour. We still have Tina Beard, Paul Hayward and Alfredo Mendez with us, running in a little group, doing this Garmin Never Stop Running Stage 4 short event. Remember, all you have to do is one of the long events to be entered into a prize draw to win a Garmin watch, a Garmin 945. But the more of the long events you do, the more chances you have to win. It's like the more tickets you get into the hat, the prize draw. But even if you do one, you still have a chance. I think I've done 2 of them. I did stage 1 and stage 2. Or, no, stage 1 and stage 3 I did. Or, no. Stage 1 and stage 2. Oh, I can't remember. I've done 2, I think. Okay, so Jonathan's just checked at the end of the video, and he says, I finished with a heart rate of 178, going at 14 kilometers per hour in the last kilometer. And I finished pushing it at 15 kilometers an hour with the same heart rate. Okay, well, I don't I honestly don't know. What would be interesting is to find out whether that heart rate came from my watch or from a ticker chest strap. I think it was a ticker chest strap, in which case it probably is accurate. And it's probably all down to the terrible treadmill and probably fitness. I mean, to get 178 BPM now, I'd have to be going some, wouldn't I? I mean, you see my heart rate these days, and even when I'm trying hard, it rarely gets much above 170, does it? You know, in those Wednesday workouts or some of the hard interval sessions that we occasionally do, rarely will you see my heart rate go much above 170. Okay, Jonathan says, iPads on iOS 15, Zwift companion app is now good, but my companion app isn't working today, and it wasn't the other day either. And there was that day when I was trying to do messaging on the companion app and the messages wouldn't come up, so the companion app was working, but when I was messaging, the messages weren't coming up on screen, which was very odd. Jonathan says, notably you didn't throw your drinks all over the place. Yeah, but the day after, I did the marathon, didn't I? So I did that test run 5 years ago on the 15th of December, and then on the 16th of December, I ran a marathon, and that's when I threw my drinks all over the place. So tomorrow will be 5 years since the very first marathon on Zwift. Yes, Sarah says, I have a pretty high heart rate naturally. 170 is fairly normal for me during a run. We all have our normal. Yes, agreed. I mean, I think, having said that, I think there are patterns. There are, when, you know, generally, I can generally say that a white male around 40 to 50 years old, 170 will be fairly high heart rate for that person. A Western male, 40 to 50 years old will have, if they have a heart rate of 170, that's generally deemed to be fairly high. But there are always outliers. There are always people with different normals. And yes, absolutely. And women are different, and at different parts of the world, people have different heart rates, and that depends on diet and temperature and different physiology in general. So yeah, but I totally agree with you. Right, 200 meters, and then we'll go up to 10 kph. My legs are loosening up now. I think this is just what I need. Just a nice, slow, ease back into it kind of run where I just get to stretch the legs a little bit. And we'll come back tomorrow, and I will try and do the Film My Run 500 properly tomorrow. Fingers crossed we'll be alright. Oh, can I show you my medal from the weekend? Because it's quite nice. It's made from wood. So, you know, normally a medal for a big race, you get a big metal chunk or a buckle for a 100-miler. So this is what I got, and it's made of wood. It's just let's see if it focuses in on it. So it says Sunrise Full Ultra, because there was a half ultra as well. It's got the bark on, and it's very light. I don't know what wood it is. It kind of feels like balsa wood. Oh, there you go. That's better. That was the medal I got for my run at the weekend. Right, up to 10 kph now. Bringing it home for the final kilometre. Tina says she has a few wooden medals. Yeah, that's not the first one I've got. I also got one for the Serpent Trail 100k, which is a nice medal as well. Oh, I can get that for you. Hang on. So that's the Serpent Trail medal. That's wood as well, but it's carved and it's got the serpent carved in the middle there. Yeah, so that's nice. So I've done a couple of Serpent Trails, so that was the more recent one. It's called the Serpent Trail because it winds and the shape of the run looks like a snake. So we've managed to keep heart rate at least in zone 2. So that's good. And I have only just eaten my dinner as well, so that's also good. I don't feel sick or anything. And we've got about 3 minutes to go. Right, Amy says my messages aren't coming through on Facebook. Not that I'm saying anything important. Facebook might be being a bit weird tonight. Yes, because I've got your earlier message, Amy. Let me try and refresh Facebook. Well, I've refreshed Facebook and there's no new messages come through, so I don't know. Facebook is usually the most annoying of platforms. We only use it really because most people seem to look at Facebook, but actually Twitch has far better video quality and YouTube is better quality than Facebook as well. It's just that you don't reach as many people on YouTube and Twitch. Although, to be fair, I don't try very hard, so maybe if I put the effort in to YouTube or Twitch, I might get somewhere. Right, Jonathan Koss says, the last message I see from Amy on Facebook is about doing the longer Garmin run tonight. Yeah, I haven't got that. That is not on my list. So, it is weird, isn't it? I don't know what's going on with Facebook. But we're coming to the end now. So, Amy, I am sorry if I've missed your messages. And anyone else on Facebook, anyone else who's watching on Facebook, who has asked a question or said anything and I haven't responded, I do apologise. I think something's been up and I haven't seen all the messages coming through. Hello, Sophia. Sophia Sharp on YouTube. And that's my 5k done, just 200 metres to go. And that'll be us finished for the Stage 4 short run of the Garmin Never Stop Running series. Oh dear, Tina, you better stop. Go and have your dinner. Tina says she feels a bit sick. Go and have your dinner. Coming to the end. Been a nice little progressive run, just getting back into the swing of things after being away for a couple of days or a few days. I haven't run on Zwift. Well, apart from yesterday's walk, I haven't been on Zwift since Thursday, so it's been a few days actually. Paul Hayward says, don't be sick until the end. Well, Tina went out for lunch. Well, it's all the caviar you ate, Tina. Oh, Yoko's been with us. Right, now I can see Marcus and Yoko. Let's drop some ride-ons. So yeah, Marcus has been running with us. Look, just behind. So there's Marcus. And there's Yoko just ahead as well. So it is a closed event, isn't it? You can't see anyone else until you come out of the event and cross the line. Where's Alfredo? There's Alfredo. Oh, and Joanna Beckett is on as well. Hello, Joanna. Joanna, right. So Steve Beckett is one of the big bosses of Zwift. He's basically almost second in command to Eric Min. And Steve used to live in London until about 3 years ago, and then he was relocated to Los Angeles. So him and Joanna moved out to Los Angeles, which is where they are now. So that's Joanna Beckett, the better half of Steve Beckett, one of the big bosses of Zwift, running on Zwift. Well, I mean, I think it's her. It could be somebody completely different, to be honest. It could be Jane Beckett, who's completely different. I don't think it is. I think it is Joanna Beckett. Right, okay, that's us done. Thank you very much for watching. We will see you for something tomorrow. But my Zwift companion app is not working, so I can't tell you what that will be. I haven't decided yet, and Zwift will not load up. The companion app won't load. It's just sitting there on its blue screen. Look, I'll show you. That's what I've got. That's what I've got, and I'm not getting anything else. It just won't load. Why? Why is it doing that? Tina says, thanks guys. Jab maybe. Ah, yes, of course, the jab, yes. Right, go and lie down, Tina. Yeah, it's just not doing anything, is it? So we will be back on tomorrow. What day is it today? Wednesday today. So Thursday. So tomorrow morning we've got the Zwift. We've got the Film My Run 500. So you can come and join us for that. And then in the evening we'll probably do something. But exactly what, I don't know. Like I say, Zwift companion app isn't working, so I can't check that out. But we'll have a look, and I will try and put it up on my page tomorrow as early as I possibly can. Yeah, well, yeah, I suppose I could keep reload. See now, right? Hang on a minute. It's loading. It's now loading. What's that all about? Okay, look, here we go. So it has now loaded. What's that? Why has it done that? Okay, let's have a look at what's on tomorrow evening, and we'll have a little decision-making session. It's now going to just stay like that now, isn't it? It's now not going to load any runs. Well, come on. Amy says goodbye, everyone. Yeah, cheers, Amy. See you soon. No, look, it's now just stuck like that. It's not loading anything. Right, I'll give it one more chance. What I'll do, I'll swipe it off. I'll put that back up there. Let's see if it loads. Jonathan, you are magic. But now I'm back to square one again because it wouldn't load any runs. I'm not going to wait around forever though. I'll just have to let you know what I'm doing. But we'll know, more than likely we will be on tomorrow around about 6 or 7 o'clock to do something. Again, it won't be anything heavy. I'm not going to be doing any interval training, nothing fast, nothing hard. It'd be an easy run. Might try and get up to 10k tomorrow. but we'll do something. We'll do something tomorrow after the Film My Run 500 in the morning. So take care, everyone. Thank you very much for watching, and thanks for taking part. If you took part, take care. See you soon. Bye bye.